Yep, what's up, my fellow sinners? It's your boy, Morningstar here, back again once again. And today we are here with another deck profile. As I guys told y'all, I was gonna drop y'all another one. This is one of my personal favorites. It's, as you can see from the title, Archfiends. Yeah, I didn't forget about Archfiends. They can do a lot of crazy things. They do have a little downside. Like every deck has a weakness. But you ain't here to talk about the weaknesses. I found out that playing a pure way is probably your best out. I mean, you can probably hybrid it with chaos and whatnot, but I find the pure way is kind of the best, kind of the fun and best way, in my personal opinion. But let's get on with that. Rocking out triple Terror King Archfiend. He's the king. He's your boy. He's the easy level 4, 2000 booty. The only downside with him, so I'm going to get to what he is. First of all, Archfiends, they have this little gimmick, especially the early day ones. If your opponent targets them with any spell, trap, or monster effect like Saku, Snatch Steal, or anything crazy like that, they have different effects. For him specifically, if you roll the dice, you gotta roll the dice. You gotta roll the dice. Boop. If you roll a dice and if it lands on 2 or 5, the effect is negated and destroyed. Simple. They all have little gimmicks, but he has the minor one, but he also has another effect. You can't normal summon him unless you have an Archfiend on the field. So if you don't, you're going to have to set him. But I have a way around that, which if I don't have any of my Archfiends on the field, I run double Moronic Captain. We all know what Moronic Captain does. When he comes out, I can special summon any level 4 from my hand. So it's a quick, easy way to get Terror King out if I don't have an Archfiend out. And he's one of the only very few non-Archfiend monsters. Next, with the King, he's got to have his loyal Captain, the strongest guard. We run double Skull Archfiend the Lightning. Oh, but before I forgot one more effect. Terror King Archfiend also, when he destroys a monster by battle, if the monster has flip effect, negate it. If it has a floating effect like a rat or any of the other 14s, the elementals that bring out the special summon another monster, negate it. Destroyed. Period. That's basically why he's like the king. Basically Summon Skull, but Archfiend to Summon Skull. Also, one other big thing. While you have the Archfiends on the field, you kind of got to lose life points. If you don't have the field spell, which is Pandemonium. For Terror King, you pay 500. If I'm not mistaken, I could have been wrong. Because these texts... Oh, no, that's a lot. You pay 800 life points. Here's the thing. You have to pay that. There's no ifs or buts. Only way you don't pay it is if you're about to lose life points and die. In that case, they die. The creatures die themselves. But Archfiend of Lightning, he's basically he's just a 25 beater. But he does have a protection effect. Out of all the Archfiend and Goat, if you roll, because the targeting effect, if you roll a 1 or 3 or a 6, it's negate and destroyed. He's the most one with like 3 different numbers. That's basically it. He's just a 25 beater. Next for the other big boy, you gotta run Dark Ruler Hades. I was flipping around with BLS, but the problem is there's not that much darks, and if I don't get the other light Archfiend in the graveyard at the time, it kind of like, meh. So it's like, it's meh at the best. But Dark Ruler Hades, he can't be special summoned, and he gives all my other Archfiends the same effect as Terror King. So if I'm attacking any other Archfiend, he stops. He's basically a skill drain for monsters. Well, when he destroys them. Period. All other Archfiends. So, well, not Archfiend, but specifically Fiends. Other Fiend decks run him for the same purpose. Some of the soldiers, we got Shadow Knight Archfiend. You gotta have your soldiers. 2K booty. The same thing. Oh, but before that, you gotta pay 5 if you don't have Pandemonium on the field for Archfiend Skull. Shadow Knight, basically the same thing. If I'm not mistaken, you still gotta pay. Well, these texts are so old. You pay 900 with him, which makes sense because it's a 2000 level 4, other than Terror King. The only different sides with him is whenever he does damage, it does half the damage. So I basically use him just to run things over because you don't really care about damage. You're mostly there to kill Kaiko or anything under 2000. He can just run it over perfectly. Same thing with all the other Archfiends. Your opponent targets it with effect. If you roll a 3, it's negate and destroy. If I roll a 3, but it's lower. For the only vanillas, gotta run the classic Archfiend soldiers. It's a 19 booty. He gets over most of the things like Blade Knight. If your opponent just has a Blade Knight on the field with nothing else, he gets over it. Now for the bread and butter, the little personal text, Dustrook. He's our light target. So how Pandemonium works, it's whenever one of the Archfiends is destroyed by, not by battle, but by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add one of the level lower, one level under the monsters the target, and obviously Dustrook. Handy thing about Dustrook is, I mean, you rarely could normal summon him. I mean, you could, but you really don't have to unless you're really begging for defense points. You pay 5 if you don't have Pandemonium, and if you have Terror King on your field, and he was destroyed by a card effect, you can basically discard this card, special summon it right back. Simple. Next, we got the Queen! The Queen! Inferno Queen Archfiend. She is one of the biggest buffs we need in the deck. Because Archfiend is one tiny problem. They can't get over big things. They have a problem getting over big things, and that glare is pissing me off. I hate it. Hold on. It doesn't go away. That glare is pissing me off. And basically the same thing as the other one. You pay 500 if you don't have Pandemonium. But here's the thing. During each standby phase, even your opponent, you could target any other Archfiend and give them 1,000 booty. Give them 1,000 attack. And because she's the queen, your opponent targets her with effects or whatever. Roll a 2 or 5. If not, it's destroyed or happens or is negated and destroyed. Simple. And the one personal tech, just to get, because they're all big beaters, Savajar. And that's basically all the monsters. You could take a screenshot if you want. You could add BLS to this. Like, maybe I would probably take out one Shadow Knight, just because I do have more lights, a little bit more lights. But I'm, like, rolling with it, like 50-50 with it. Let's get on with the spells. How y'all doing today? What's good? What's up? What's happening? The glare is horrible. Mandatory spells, Graceful, Pot, Heavy, One Knock, Prima, Snatch, MST. Mandatory, we already know what they do. Now, what also sets it apart, they also have a personal Snatch Steal. Falling Down. It's basically a Snatch Steal, but instead of getting your opponent light points, on their standby phase, you take 800. It's basically to get, like, snatch something, but you can only activate this if you have an Archfiend monster on the field. Other downside is, if the Archfiend monster gets popped, that the only one you had, this gets destroyed. So it's like, you kind of got to use it right then and there, like to tribute one of their opponent's monsters, take their BLS, or take something that's interrupted them, use it, then tribute it, or if it's just sitting there on the field, then if you want to take the 800, you can take the 800. And that's the only reason why I kind of don't run Delinquent Duo, because the chances you're probably going to take damage anyway from the Archfiend. So, yeah, try to limit the light points losing. Acts of Despair, as I said before, they need power up. Their biggest problem is they can't get over anything 25 and higher. Anything 25 and higher, they can't get over it. That's why Acts of Despair comes into play. And also, it triggers off of Pandemonium, because Pandemonium says whenever an Archfiend is sent to the graveyard or destroyed, I could be wrong, destroyed, yeah, it has to be destroyed. So technically it won't tribute it, but it kind of it depends on who's the judge there. Same thing, like I said, it basically protects you from the pain effects of the Archfiend monsters. And if an Archfiend monster is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, not by battle, you can search your deck for another lower. So obviously if Skull Archfiend gets sent to the graveyard, I can add up basically any of them. It don't matter who it is. And that's all the spells. I haven't ran into too many problems with the deck. It's just, you know, there are certain things that make the deck hinder, especially against big monsters like BLS could be a problem, but it depends on what the field look like. Traps, usual. But like I said before, the one only difference is they can't take over big things. Problem solved. Bottomless. Because as soon as you see something big that you know there's going to be a problem, get rid of it as soon as possible. No debate. Don't let the thing live. Be gone, thought. But, yeah, that's basically deck prop for a while. So, you already know what to do. Hit me up. And, probably the only reason I'm going to do any live duels last time is because, you know, everybody had to work. So, stay tuned. This Sunday, we definitely going to be posting some more. So, catch you later. Be breezy. Feed the needy. Be.